In a luxurious mansion nestled in the outskirts of the city, the grand life of Sebastián, the young heir to a fortune built over generations, was about to take an unexpected and dark turn. Sebastián, barely 12 years old, was the only son of Alejandro, a wealthy businessman known for his cold demeanor and ruthless decisions. Alejandro had recently remarried a woman much younger than him, a woman named Mariana, who came with a past of her own. Mariana had never cared for Sebastián. From the moment she walked into the mansion, she viewed him as an obstacle, an unnecessary heir that stood in the way of her newly acquired wealth and position. Despite her beauty and grace, she carried a deep resentment towards the boy, who had a close bond with his father. Sebastián, on the other hand, had no love for his stepmother, sensing her coldness and disregard for him. He found solace in the housekeeper, Lourdes, a woman who had worked in the mansion for many years and had always treated him with kindness and wore MTH. One fateful afternoon, Alejandro had to leave for a business trip, leaving his son under Mariana's care. But as soon as the door slammed behind him, Mariana's true intentions began to unfold. With the house completely empty, she saw the opportunity to rid herself of the young heir who stood between her and everything she desired. Sebastián had been playing in the garden when he was lured into the house by Mariana, who promised him a special surprise. Little did he know, it was a trap. She had already prepared a large, unmarked grave behind the mansion, one that was to become his final resting place. Mariana told Sebastián that it had been a disappointment to his father, that no one loved him, and that his existence was nothing but an inconvenience. At first, Sebastián couldn't believe it, thinking she was playing some cruel game. But the coldness in her eyes told him otherwise. Without hesitation, Mariana grabbed a shovel and began digging. Sebastián tried to escape, but she overpowered him. She hit him with the handle, knocking him unconscious. When he awoke, he found himself in a shallow grave, the earth already beginning to cover him. With panic and fear consuming him, he screamed for help, but no one was around to hear. Mariana stood at the edge of the grave, her eyes cold, as she finished burying him alive. As the last remnants of earth fell onto Sebastián's body, Mariana wiped the sweat from her brow, feeling a twisted sense of satisfaction. She believed her nightmare had ended. But what Mariana didn't know was that Lourdes, the housekeeper, had witnessed the entire scene from the shadows. Lourdes had been in the garden when she saw Mariana leading Sebastián toward the grave, and she knew instantly that something was wrong. Fearing for the boy's life, she rushed to the scene, but it was too late. Sebastián was already buried. Determined to save him, Lourdes didn't waste any time. She rushed to the mansion's tool shed, grabbing a shovel and racing toward the grave. She had no idea how deep the earth was, but she couldn't let this boy die without a fight. As she dug frantically, her hands were raw, but she never stopped. Sweat drenched her face, but her focus never wavered. Lourdes knew that time was against her, and with each passing moment, Sebastián's chances of survival grew slimmer. Then, something miraculous happened. Just as Lourdes' shovel hit something solid, a faint breath of air escaped from the earth. She gasped, hearing the faintest of sounds, a cough. Her heart leapt as she realized that Sebastián was still alive. With renewed strength, she dug faster, her hands and arms aching with exhaustion. She could feel the life in the boy slowly fading, but she was determined to save him. When she finally unearthed Sebastián's body, his face was pale, and his chest barely rose and fell. His eyes fluttered open just as Lourdes cradled his body, whispering words of encouragement. "You're safe now, Sebastián. You're safe," she murmured, her voice shaky but filled with hope. Lourdes' heart pounded as she lifted the boy out of the grave, knowing that every second counted. Sebastián's body was weak, but his heart still beat. Lourdes carried him inside, where she worked tirelessly to revive him. She didn't stop, not for a second. She cleaned his wounds, gave him water, and, most importantly, kept him alive with her unwavering determination. It was as if a miracle had been granted to them both. Hours later, as the sun began to set, Sebastián finally opened his eyes. He was alive. In the days that followed, Lourdes managed to keep Sebastián's miraculous survival a secret. She knew the danger of exposing the truth. Mariana had gotten away with murder in her mind, and any word of the boy's revival would lead to even more danger. But Lourdes, the ever-watchful protector, knew that her role was far from over. Sebastian would never be the same after what he had gone through, but Lourdes vowed to make sure that he would one day be free of his stepmother's cruelty. The boy's miraculous escape from death was a secret kept for now, but Lourdes knew it was only a matter of time before the truth would come out. When it did, it would shake the very foundations of the family's legacy. But what Lourdes didn't realize was that her acid test of kindness would soon be the catalyst for an even greater transformation. As Sebastian recovered, Lourdes continued to work in silence, watching over him, knowing that she had done the impossible. She had saved him. Call to action. If you've been captivated by Sebastian's incredible story, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Don't miss out on more amazing tales of courage, miracles, and unexpected twists. Join our community, and stay tuned for more mind-blowing stories. Your support helps us bring more life-changing moments like this to the world. Subscribe now and be part of the journey.